What's up? You're in the Beat Sessions. I'm your host, Mitchell Weary. It is Friday, June 25th, and I hope you're all very stoked because there's a lot of high-profile albums dropping this weekend. It was tough to make a decision on what we're going to start with, but I had to go with Modest Mouse and their brand new record, The Golden Casket. This is their 7th studio album. As their follow-up to 2015's Strangers to Ourselves, and thankfully we didn't have to wait as long for this record as we did for the last one. It's always nice to have Isaac Brock, Jeremiah Green, the rest of the crew back. A number of lineup changes over the year, including Johnny Marr about 15 years ago. I just thought that was so freaking cool. I absolutely love Johnny Marr. But Isaac Brock, definitely the main driving creative force behind this project. I've always loved his lyrical style. He's just got this quirky existential flair that I absolutely love. I love his perspective. You know, he's got this sense of optimism, and especially on this record. You know, he's a dad now, and most of the parents I know, especially through this tough time, have tried to maintain that sense of optimism because I truly think it's the only way that we can come together and reconcile our differences and leave this place a better world for our children. You know, I don't have kids, but I certainly don't want to see this place crumble for my nieces and for a number of other people that I truly care about. You know, their kids deserve to have a better world to live in as well. And so the negativity, not going to fix things. So kudos to Isaac Brock for his perspective on this record. And I love just like the old school, it's almost kind of cliche. You know, when you ask someone, how you doing today? They're like, well, I got up. You know, it seems kind of crotchety. But like a lot of people didn't. And I like his attitude. I like that he is just thankful for waking up and being able to experience life for better or for worse. It's not always easy. Like this morning was frustrating for me, but I'm thankful that I got to listen to this record, that I get to do this review. I get to go DJ in a couple hours. That's very cool. Get to hang out with a bunch of cool people up at that bar. And, you know, it's important to maintain that, even in times when it's difficult. And frankly, you know, it's just nice to, I think it's just more healthy to keep that lighter attitude too. You know, stress can just make you exhausted, just do all these nasty things to you. So yeah, let's keep our heads up. Listen to this new Modest Mouse record because it'll help it. And you know, Isaac Brock, certainly funny and kind of sassy and snarky, and it's certainly on full display here a little bit as well. In songs like "Fuck Your Acid Trip," that's the opener. It's you know, we're not going down the rabbit hole too deep with this track, but I do like. It's basically just about wanting to get off the ride. I think many of us have probably been there. It's a nice allegory for 2020 as well. I know by the end of it, through this COVID thing, we were all done. We were all ready to get off that ride. So it's nothing that's too out there, but a great way to open up this record, which again is very COVID driven. It's very much inspired by the experiences that Isaac's had in the last year and a half. Third track, We're Lucky, is a phenomenal one. Second track, We Are Between as well. I like there's like a solid group of tracks on the first side of this album that have this surf rock vibe, a little bit of this psychedelic feel as well. I will argue that, and especially on the song We Are Between, these songs suffer a little bit from overproduction. And it's unfortunate too. I like where the band's at as far as, you know, layering these textures and, you know, playing around with these riffs. But at times during the chorus on that song in particular, it takes on a little. It seems too much. It seems like it's just overproduced. But you know, it's not detrimental. It's not anything that I'm, you know, saying is making this record suffer to a degree where you're not going to want to listen to it. I do like the track Wooden Soldiers as well. It's the 5th song. Kind of gives you more of that kind of like old school, quirky Modest Mouse at a slower pace. Transmitting, Receiving, you know, really dig the title of that track. And Flip This Thing Over, The Sun Hasn't Left, is, you know, again, alluding to that experience in Portland. You know, aside from the rioting, there were a number of fires. And so the sky was literally black. Figuratively, people saw this bleak atmosphere. And Isaac Brock talks about like how he just had to write this song, man. Just like had to help dig people out, myself out. And it's a great tune. It's got this big, stompy groove. I really like it. I definitely think it's one of the highlights on this album. Leave a Light On. It's got this, you know, kind of like light glam rock feel to it, a little poppy element. Lighthearted as well. You listen to the title. Just absolutely love that. This thing closes with Back to the Middle. The song is huge. It's a great closer. It's probably the best lyrics on the record. It's got a great riff, and I just love the way it's structured and built. The song before that, Japanese Trees as well. I shouldn't have skipped over that. Pixies and Pavement. It's got that kind of old school Modest Mouse vibe again. So what I really like about this record is the great continuity, as well as, you know, every song sounds like a Modest Mouse song, but certainly has a lot of unique character. And I think, especially when you get to the B side, that overproduction disappears. You still get some of that riff play, some of that layering, but I think that it's just a bit cleaner and not as much, and certainly leaves this thing with a just warm feeling in your soul. I'm vinyl pleasing Modest Mouse and their new record. I really hope that you enjoy this. Please like this video and share it. Subscribe to my channel. Check out the live show on Sunday nights, and we will see you next time on the Beat Sessions.